Okay, gentlemen. Now, देखो, whatever validations we were doing, all these validations were happening where on the server side. Browser will submit the data and finally will do what? Validations on the server side. It is not that all the validations you have to do on the server side. Some could be done on the client side itself. See, when I developed a website, I developed this website to book an appointment. And I'm telling if somebody visits www.bookappointment.com, right? So we are just throwing this information to their browser. So it's not only one person who's going to take it, right? There'll be thousands of people who are taking it, right? Thousands of browsers. From there, we'll get a request. Okay, and we have to process and finally give a response. But all the validations, if I'm doing on the server side, if 1,000 concurrent users are there for me, just think how much of load I'm giving to the server. So some of the things we should validate on the client side, the browser side also. Now I'm asking you a question. Server side validations has to be done on server side. Client side validations has to be done on both sides. Okay. So server side validation should be done on server side. Client side validations has to be done on both sides. Why? Why do they tell that client side validation has to be done on both sides? Why? Because client side validations involve script executions. JavaScript, ECMA script, VB script, C Sharp, Java, all these are ECMA standard scripts which might run on the client side, right? But in your browser, you can deny a script execution. Okay, you can just deny, you can switch off the script getting executed on the browser side. In that case, none of your validations will happen on the client side. If it is not happening there, at least server side, it will definitely happen. Now you might have a question. Anyhow, we are doing on the server side, then why should we do on the client side? If the client side validations are enabled, the feedback for the client will be much faster. So most of the time, the data which reaches the server will be the pristine one. Is that clear? Okay, so that is the reason you have to do on both sides. Okay, ये भी रिकॉर्ड हो गया, सुन लो, ठीक है, नहीं यूजफुल है, सुन लो, ठीक है. Now, what now? ये नहीं है, निकाल दो इसका. ये सब निकाल दो गड़बड़ में. Now this looks beautiful. No errors, nothing. थोड़ा चलो, थोड़ा कॉपी कर लो प्रीवियस बैच का. टाइम सेव होगा हमें. क्लाइंट साइड वैलिडेशंस. बंद हो गया. नाउ क्लाइंट नेम तो रिक्वायर्ड है मुझे. Why this is okay? Okay, it is here. Excuse me, please. Which one I'll take? I'm just seeing. Okay. ये नहीं चाहिए, regular expression. I'll do a simple one, guys. Okay, guys, let's move if you all permit. Now, see, I want to write one client-side validation, right? Let me start with the first one. Well, too many things. I think I've grown up with the same program I've just continued there for your previous batch. So what I'll do is I'll get into infrastructure. I'll create a new class. Okay, new class. And here I tell client side required. Okay, so what I'm going to do, client side required, एक attribute बनाएंगे हम. ठीक है जी? Client side required, I'll take an attribute. So you all remember validation attribute, what we did previously when I used metadata? याद है? हाँ. So what will override is valid method. ये तो validate करेंगे. Okay, so what exactly is your validation? We'll try to provide. I'll just take that email and convert it. So whether it's a proper email entered or not, that you not do now, because there's an email data type available in HTML5. All those are implicitly checked there. Okay, if you have any custom check, in that case, you have to look at that. Okay, so I have a validate method. I'll take this. I'm not using any regular expressions here. I'll remove these regular expressions and all those. It should not be empty. Only that I'm taking. I'm returning true or false there. It should not be empty. Could you see this, gentlemen? I'm just having this much. But this is going to work on the server side. I want this to work where? See, this is client side required. I can associate with where in your appointment controller, I can tell for the client name, I require this. Okay, gentlemen. So that's what exactly I was doing in this appointment. So I had a client side appointment, which is absolutely fine. Is that clear? I don't know where is that string length. So minimum length has to be this much, that much. Okay, I think I developed it and I dropped it somewhere. अच्छा छोड़ो जी जाने दो. So client side validation attribute. So I can use the same thing, string length, whatever I saw there. We can just get that string and check for the value. The string has to be minimum 3 characters, maximum 10 characters for the client name. I can just associate that. That should be fine. And I need an error message here. Excuse me. What is your error message? Sorry, I'm making a blunder. How do I? Excuse me, please. I want an error message. Shall I build the error message here itself? So here we are telling, there are two attributes, guys, which we are trying to get. One is, what is this validation type and what is the error message? I want to get that required. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll get this here itself, okay? So string, I want your error message. And string, I want the error type. Is this enough? Okay, error type. I want to use it in other functions. When you want to use it in other functions, you require members, right? Hello? ये oops program हो गया फिर से. And how do you get this inside now? Yes, see, it's helping me. This dot validation type, right? Okay, that's more than enough. Yeah, how do I associate this now? When you go to your appointment, I have to tell, okay, the message is please enter your name. And the type, sorry, type क्या था उसका? Required. Browser में required ऐसे ही जाता है ना? You remember? For the browser required. Email है कि email है, required R caps or R small? You remember? R small ही है ना? Okay. पता नहीं ऐसे ही बोल दिया आप लोगों ने भी. देख लेंगे. We'll see. Okay. So the error message type ये दोनों मिल गया. Now, this is going to run on the server side. We want this to run on the client side. So इसके लिए एक है iClient validatable. Could you see? And then we are implementing that interface. ये चाहिए आपको. Just have a look at this. Now we are getting the metadata context, controller context, सब मिल रहा है यहाँ पे. Object का value मिल रहा है. So there we are actually doing the actual job. Right? Is valid. अच्छा valid है. Is valid तो वहाँ हो गया. IEnumerable में, excuse me. What that you want in IEnumerable? We are not returning empty. Anyhow, leave it. I didn't show them. I have cheated those guys actually. My empty if statements have check नहीं किया. So model client validation rule है ना? इसका एक array बनता है where we are telling new model validation rule. Okay, यहाँ पे my error message is what? This error message, whatever I have constructed. Comma. Validation type is what? Validation type, whatever I have here. ठीक ठाक है? So don't get confused there, which is what? That's all. I'm just getting this error message, whatever we are setting, and it comes and reaches here. Error message, validation type, everything is absolutely neatly and crisp. हो गया? This is client side validation attribute. ठीक है जी? Okay. Similarly, I'll do one more thing. This is client side validation हो गया? Okay. I'll take one more. This is enough. Email address I don't want now. Okay. Required small case here. ठीक है. So that is required. We are just trying to give that error message. So that should be fine. Future date. नहीं है. Must be true. I'll take. I'll take this. So shall I put here itself, guys, to save time? So all your, see what we're doing, same thing, guys. Validation attribute, iClient validatable, right? Is valid. I'm just checking for this value, right? And client validation rule, the same error message लेके यहाँ पे डाल दिया. What is the error message here? Whatever error message you're going to set, that I could have done there also, right? So there's a validation type. 1 minute, guys. I'll do one thing. इसको ऐसे डायरेक्ट डाल दूं, just to avoid confusion for you, from you. This is error messages. This dot error message. So इसको निकाल देंगे हम. Let's not have this. And the validation type will directly feed it as क्या है? So this looks, then I need not pass it from appointment. I need not pass it from appointment, right? I can remove this. Okay? So this looks simple now. Oh yeah, that really looks simple. Can I move? So I don't have anything. I just have this valid and I just have this much. It's more than enough for us. Oh yeah. Okay. When you go here, it's a simple thing. Is valid. And then we are telling it checkbox true and that's the error message. What is your error message? So let me take this must be true. Help me please. Must be true. I'll feed it on terms accepted, where I tell error message is equal to please accept the terms. हो गया? I just kept it as simple as possible. ठीक है जी? Okay, must be true. एक और चाहिए? ये दोनों काफी है अभी? So date भी आप देख सकते हो, but date ब्राउजर साइड जो डेट है उसके हिसाब से चलेगा. ओके, सो ये तो ठीक ठाक है. ईमेल तो नहीं चाहिए मुझे. ओके, लीव इट. So I have done one string length. I have messed it up. Okay, no problem. अभी तक ठीक ठाक हो? So this is the point. Okay, guys. So that's all. We'll go ahead now. ऐसे ही ऐड किया मैंने भी. Must be true. Error message. सब ठीक ठाक है. Can I move ahead if you all permit? Yes, you all are wonders. देख लो. ये कहाँ पे वर्क होना है? क्लाइंट साइड वर्क होना है. So let us run this. अरे यार, कितना टाइम ले रहा है? This went to server and came back? Or it happened on the client side? No, it went to server. You can see this getting refreshed. Server पे जा रहा है? जा रहा है ना? Okay. See guys, you'll see this getting refreshed, right? तो वो नहीं होना है. So यहाँ से, when I just go here, select some future. Okay. जाके आया? It went and came? I didn't see that, sorry. Yes, it went. It went and came. No, that means it's not working. Whatever we did, it's not working. And let us see this. See whether everything has come. Field validations, validation message, सब है. इसको locally use करने के लिए we want something. So what is that? Field validation. Validation is required. Please enter. Right, required validator. Everything has reached here. Okay, but somebody has to utilize this, right, locally on the client side. Right, gentlemen, who's that Mr. Somebody? Will go, huh? Will go and see the master page. Where is it, master page? Under views, you can see, under shared, you can see layout master. किसी को include किया है हमने? किसको include किया है? कुछ validation include किया है? Right, gentlemen? You all are there? So jQuery, validate, right? इसको use किया है. Now we'll do the same thing here. So view solution explorer, go to our layout.chhtml. क्या चाहिए हमको? Go to scripts. Could you see jQuery validate is there? Okay. So इसको use करें jQuery validate. Okay, 1 minute. I used all the minified versions here. अरे यार. jQuery validate minified version. And what else is required? jQuery unobtrusive चाहिए क्या? jQuery validate unobtrusive चाहिए. उसका भी minified version डालेंगे. और ये दो रन करने के लिए jQuery तो है ऑलरेडी. scripts.render bundles में jQuery है. इतना तो काफी है. Wait, I'll put it. No, I have a small doubt here. jQuery is getting loaded later. These guys are using jQuery. समझे क्या? No, it goes to server and comes back. It went to server and came back, guys. I'm trying to get that required. And this except भी यहीं पे work होना है. Just give me a second. One minute, please. I'll just take this, put it on top. ठीक है? Rebuild कर लो, इसको refresh करो. और मिस कर रहे हैं हम. Plugin I'll write later. ये jQuery किधर गया? वो ऊपर है. Why it is not happening? It should happen locally here. Yeah, it's happening, guys. Sorry, I entered Sachin. Okay, now I'm removing it. See, it's coming immediately. Right? Okay, I'm not going to the server. It's happening locally. Got it right? But why it didn't work earlier? I didn't make any changes. Right? This is working. और ये भी वर्क होना है. इसका थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है आपको. Okay. Now Shantanu cannot book. That also you have to bring. Right? That I'll leave it to you. Like attribute okay, you write an attribute and just support. Validation is valid, no, वो डालना है उतना ही. Right, gentlemen? ये ठीक है. I accept the terms and conditions. Now when I remove it, just like how this was working, right? Remove करने से, same thing should happen here. So that is not implicitly taken. So what I'll do is we'll write a plugin. यहाँ देख रहे हो plugin? इसके लिए checkbox true के लिए लिख रहा हूँ plugin. So I'm trying to identify, okay, input type, checkbox है ना, उसके लिए एक plugin लिख रहे हैं हम. I'm just copying and pasting as it is, since you all know jQuery. jQuery पता है आप लोगों को, इसलिए हम डायरेक्ट लेके डाल रहे हैं इसको. आप तो एक्सपर्ट्स हो jQuery में. So jQuery add कर दिया. I wrote a simple plugin for which one? Input type. See here, input type. Which one? Checkbox के लिए required true बनाते हैं और हमारा मैसेज जो भी था उसको लेके अंडर डाल दिया हमने. Is that clear? गए काम से? jQuery किए हो या नहीं? अभी नहीं बोल रहे, इतने दिन हाँ बोल रहे थे. रिफ्रेश करो जी. First we'll see whether this works. Okay, this is working. Remove. Yeah, it's working. इसको तो मैंने नहीं लिखा. ठीक है. Yeah, it is happening now locally. Right? वो plugin भी काम कर रहा है वहां पे. Plugin took that message. This is a message I gave, right? Please accept the terms. That's working locally. Okay, you all are wonders. I'll stop the record.